Hi, this is Dennis Fassett, the Cashflow Mercenary. Welcome to another installment of Cashflow Mercenary Television. Today I wanted to finish up our discussion on private investing, and to do so I wanted to talk to you about what questions a private investor is going to ask you when you pitch them for money. Believe me, this comes from having some experience getting pitched by people that have been both very well prepared and people that didn't have a freaking clue. And obviously the people that are well prepared have a much better shot at getting a yes and really getting you to listen, because I'm telling you, it takes literally 30 seconds for somebody to figure out whether you're prepared or not. So it's important that you know what you're doing when you sit down with somebody. When you get somebody's attention that agrees to listen to your pitch, it's important that you hit it hard and you know what you're talking about. Well, first of all, what I'm going to ask you is, what do you want the money for? What's your project? What are you doing? Next question is, how much do you need? And what are you going to use it for? It's interesting, when I've asked that question before, people are kind of hem and haw and stuff. It's like, well, how much is purchase price? How much is rehab? What are you going to use the money for? In finance, again, I'm a finance guy, you've got sources of funds and you've got uses of funds. Now, you're expecting me to be your source of funds. Well, I want to see what the use of funds is going to be broken out into categories. You've got a holding, you should have holding costs broken out, you ought to have insurance, you ought to have those types of things broken out, so I can see what the costs are. Okay? So I'm going to ask, what are you going to use it for? How am I going to get it back? What's your exit strategy? You better have a darn good exit strategy mapped out on how I'm going to get paid back. What kind of terms and conditions are you looking to get on that? Now, I will generally dictate the terms and conditions, but I want to know if you've thought about it, and if you really are knowledgeable as to what the terms and conditions are in the market right now. So if you're investing in Detroit and doing flips on the east side, highly risky stuff, and you want my money at 6%, no points, I'm going to tell you you're smoking crack, because you're not even anywhere in the ballpark. And that's going to tell me that you really don't know what you're talking about if you come to me with terms and conditions like that. So I'm going to expect that you've got a little bit on the ball and you know what you're talking about before you come to me and ask me for money. Now, the thing that really trips most investors up when they come and pitch for private money is that they don't have all of their information lined up. For example, you're going to tell me your rehab is going to be $20,000. First of all, there's never been a rehab in the entire universe that's been $20,000 exactly. So I'm going to ask you, when you come to me, when I see your uses of funds break out and you have rehab at $20,000, I'm going to say, how do you know that it's $20,000? And you're going to give me some idea as to why. What I'm going to want to see is your contractor estimates that make up that amount. I want to know, how do you know that your rehab is 20 grand? How do you know what your purchase price is going to be? How do you know what your selling price is going to be? I want to know how you know all of this stuff. And I tell you, the biggest bone of contention that I have with people that pitch me to be a private investor is that they don't have a freaking clue about this stuff, and they're coming to me with swags on all of these very important things. I tell you, that's not going to work. It does not work at all. I need you to be cognizant and have estimates and have rock solid information so I know what I'm getting into. Up to and including an appraisal already done of what the property is worth right now, or comps or something to kind of brackets the value at least, so a rational, intelligent person can look at the information and see that it makes a sound business case. Because that's really what I'm looking at. I'm looking to you for is to create a solid business case, because that's what you're doing. You're pitching me on an investment that needs to have a business case. So again, folks, this kind of wraps up our discussion on private investing. Go get a track record. Practice with your own money first. All of this stuff will be so unbelievably clear once you've done a few deals yourself, that when you start to talk to a private investor about it, you'll know what contingencies are, you'll know what the risks are to the deals that you're trying to pursue, and when you sit down with your private investor, you'll know what you're talking about, and that'll give me, as the private investor, a big comfort level that you know what you're doing, and it's going to make me a lot more willing to loan you some money and make us both some money. Because hey, I'm looking for higher returns like everybody else. I'm just looking for the best place to put my money, and that may be you once you get some experience. So know your game, get some experience, and then know your game, and then let's talk. This is Dennis Fassett, the Cash Flow Mercenary. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll talk again tomorrow.